Good morning. It's Saturday, July 20th. I'm Lisette Nunez in the Fox 5 newsroom. Thank you for joining us live on the Fox local app. Well, progress is being made after what's being called the biggest IT outage in history. Currently, dozens of flights at local airports are either canceled or delayed. This comes after cybersecurity firm CrowdStrike pushed out a faulty software update to computers running Microsoft Windows. The CEO of CrowdStrike says this was not a hack. And longtime Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee of Texas has passed away. She was born in Queens. Jackson Lee advocated to protect women from domestic violence and helped lead efforts to recognize Juneteenth as a federal holiday. She was one of the first women to graduate from Yale and was first elected to the House in 1994. She died from pancreatic cancer with her family around her. Sheila Jackson Lee was 74. And checking the forecast for the weekend, a mix of sun and clouds with a high of 86 degrees. Tonight, a chance of showers. Tomorrow, a little bit warmer with lots of sun. Well, the man accused of drunk driving and killing 4 people inside a Long Island nail salon was back in court yesterday. Fox 5's Jody Goldberg has a look at what's next as the Deer Park community mourns the lives lost.
In surveillance video recently posted by Hawaii Nail and Spa, you can hear the engine of Stephen Schwally's SUV moments before he went airborne and plowed through the salon. Screams are heard seconds after. The impact killed 4 and injured 9. Schwally initially told investigators he had 18 beers in the early morning leading up to the crash, but now we've learned the 64-year-old's blood alcohol content was 0.17, which is more than double the legal limit. Prosecutors are presenting the case to the grand jury.
I cried last night.
Vicky and Stephen Chen are fighting for justice.
We want this guy, this attacker, to pay what he deserves.
Their brother Ken Chen was killed. He was the co-owner of the salon. His wife Joy is still fighting for her life. They say pictures posted to social media show a family that was always smiling.
Nobody can understand what I think about right now because I miss my brother.
While Schwally, who has a prior DWI conviction, didn't appear in court, the judge denied his application for release. NYPD Detective Carl Renhack walked out of court with his head down. His wife, NYPD officer Amelia Renhack, was also killed. The PBA speaking on his behalf.
There's no way that he should be back out on the streets. He killed 4 people. He injured many people. He should stay behind bars where he belongs.
The memorial where the nail salon once stood continues to grow as photos of the victims and fresh flowers cover the sidewalk. Even on a bright day, you can still see the flicker of a flame.
The whole Deer Park community is outraged by it.
Schwally is due back in court on July 30th. The same day, family tells us visitation will be held for Chen. Prosecutors say charges are expected to be upgraded. In Central Lights of Long Island, Jody Goldberg, Fox 5 News.
Harvey Weinstein's retrial on rape and sexual assault charges here in New York has been scheduled for November 12th. Weinstein's 2020 sexual assault conviction was overturned in April. Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg has decided to retry the case. Weinstein's lawyers said they are ready to go to trial right away, but the DA's office needs more time to prepare. The disgraced movie producer remains on Rikers Island, where his attorneys say his health is failing.
He is anxious to go to trial and prove his innocence. He is not physically, he is not well, and that is certainly affecting his mental state. But I think he's strong.
The judge has scheduled a new hearing in September to go over evidence. Well, a Bronx food pantry that helps thousands every week is now turning to the community for assistance so it can stay up and running. The Open Hand Association in Pelham Bay Parkway says it's looking for help to get its AC and refrigeration system upgraded to keep serving those in need. Fox 5's Richard Jacobus has more.
As this summer Friday in July comes to a close, the line at this local Bronx food pantry is still out the door.
You see a lot of people in need. Elderly, minusválidos, disabled people, they come because they need it.
The only problem is they're about to run out of food.
We're still suffering how to keep it fresh frozen or refrigerated our produce.
Oscar Gildemeister is the supervisor of the Albanian American Open Hand Association food pantry in the Bronx's Pelham Parkway section. This past week, during the height of the tri-state area's heat wave, most of Oscar's refrigerators stopped working.
It's broken. I have to empty it out, meat and fish.
Open Hand is responsible for feeding up to 2,000 families a week and are asking for up to $100,000 to upgrade the refrigeration and the AC units.
Don't have to be new, but I requested the community and the companies help us to serving better this community.
Alex and his volunteers have been forced to work around the clock, giving out fresh produce, meats, and cheeses, and they have to do it as fast as they can to avoid situations like this. Spoiled celery, and then over here you have mold growing on the cucumbers and the apples. All of this because it can't be refrigerated, and there's no central air in the pantry, and it gets hot. For Oscar, this is about the people, many of whom are in desperate need of food to feed their families. And with no sign of this need slowing down, the folks here at Open Hand are desperate for help.
Every day is more and more people here lining up and waiting for any little help.
In the Pelham Parkway section of the Bronx, Richard Giacovas, Fox 5 News.
Well, at least 2 people have died and 28 have been hospitalized after a listeria outbreak in a dozen states, including here in New York and New Jersey. Many of the people who got sick say they ate deli meat sliced at various supermarkets. The cases were detected between May 29th and July 5th, but so far the CDC says it doesn't have enough information to identify which deli meats are the source of the outbreak. Well, a 2-hour train ride between New York City and Boston could be a possibility soon. Fox 5's Antoine Lewis shows us a proposal that is gaining traction.
New York to Boston by train takes about 4 hours, but a proposal to reduce that time down to just 100 minutes is gaining steam. Rick Harnish is executive director of the Chicago-based High Speed Rail Alliance, part of the coalition behind this proposal.
You need to make it easier for people to travel. You need to make it less expensive for people to travel. And you need to make it more productive when you're actually traveling. And high-speed rail is just more enjoyable in general. And so it's a critical investment in maintaining the economic strength of the Northeast.
Plans include digging a 16-mile tunnel beneath the Long Island Sound between Port Jefferson and Milford, Connecticut. The proposed route would run along a mix of new and existing tracks from Penn Station to Ronkonkoma, then along a new connection to the tunnel beneath the Sound. New and existing tracks would also be used for the Connecticut leg of the trip. Harnish says Amtrak would be the service provider.
Amtrak has made steady progress on improving the service on that corridor. And now it's time to make the big leap and go to true high-speed rail.
But there are concerns. The cost is projected to be around $50 billion, and environmentalists are worried about the impact of construction beneath the Long Island Sound and what it would have on the ecosystem. Roger Reynolds is legal advisor for the advocacy group Save the Sound.
We've come a long way, and wildlife is really returning and thriving in Long Island Sound, and we'd hate to do something quickly without sufficient planning and forethought that would imperil that progress.
Meanwhile, here's reaction from rail commuters at Penn Station.
I think faster and more convenient service is great, especially for business.
Thinking of going to Boston, so I hope it happens sooner than I expect.
At the earliest, construction on this project wouldn't even begin until 4 years, so we're talking about 2028. Either way, we'll keep you updated. Reporting from Penn Station, Antoine Lewis, Fox 5 News.
Yeah, that could be a game changer. Well, the wait is over. EA Sports College Football has released its 2025 edition of the video game. This is the first new edition since 2013. That is when student athletes began questioning why they were not being paid, causing the company to put new releases on pause. In anticipation of a flood of gamers, EA Sports increased its server capacity ahead of time to handle the demand. We'll move over. Taylor Swift. Bruce Springsteen is now a billionaire. The boss is worth $1.1 billion, according to Forbes. Much of his net worth is due to him selling his music catalog to Sony for around $500 million. In recent years, Springsteen also made $380 million from concert ticket sales. Springsteen is one of the best-selling music artists of all time.